me. I'm going to tell you all your faults. Number 1. You squeaked twice when your face was being washed this morning. Now don't deny it, Kitty. I heard you. Number 2. You pulled Snow away by the tail, just as I kept on the saucer of milk for her. As for number 3, you unwound every bit of yarn when I wasn't looking. That's 3 faults, Kitty, and you've not been punished for anything yet. You know, I'm saving up all your punishments for next Wednesday. Suppose they saved up all my punishments. What would they do with me at the end of the year? I should be sent to prison, I suppose. Kitty, can you play chess? Let's pretend you're the Red Queen. You know, I think that if you sat up and folded your arms, you'd look exactly like her. Do try. There's a dear.
You! Who are you?
I just want to tell me who you are first.
Why? Oh, wait! Come back. I've something important to say. Keep your temper.
Is that all?
No. So you think you're changed, do you?
Oh, I'm afraid I am, sir. I can't remember things I used, and I don't stay the same size for 10 minutes together.
Can't remember what things?
Well, I tried to say how dope a little busy be, but it all came out different.
Repeat your old Father William.
You are old, Father William, the young man said, and your hair has become very white. And yet you incessantly stand on your head. Do you think at your age it is right? In my youth, Father William replied to his son, I feared it might injure the brain. But now that I'm perfectly sure I have none, why I do it again and again. You are old, said the youth, and your jaws are too weak for anything tougher than suet. Yet you finish the goose with the bones and the beak. Pray, how did you manage to do it? In my youth, said his father, I took to the law and argued each case with my wife. And the muscular strength which it gave to my jaw has lasted the rest of my life.
That is not said right.
Not quite right, I'm afraid. Some of the words have got altered.
It is wrong from beginning to end. What size do you want to be?
Oh, I'm not particular as to size, only one doesn't like changing so often, you know.
I don't know. Are you content now?
Well, I should like to be a little larger, sir, if you wouldn't mind. 3 inches is such a wretched height to be.
It's a very good height indeed.
But I'm not used to it. Oh, I wish this creature wouldn't be so easily offended.
You'll get used to it in time. One side will make you grow taller, while the other side will make you grow shorter.
One side of what? The other side of what?
Of the mushroom.
Now, which is which?
An invitation from the Queen to play croquet. From the Queen, an invitation for the Duchess to play croquet.
Tell me why he grins like that.
He's a Cheshire cat, and that's why.
I didn't know the Cheshire cats always grin. In fact, I didn't know the cats could grin.
They all can, and most of them do.
I don't know any that do.
You don't know much, and that's a fact.
Oh, please, madam, what are you doing? You might hurt the little baby. Stop!
If everybody minded their own business, the world would go round a deal faster than it does.
Which would not be an advantage. Just think of what it would do to the day and the night. You see, the Earth takes 24 hours to go round on its axis.
Talking of axes, chop off her head.
24 hours! Think.
Oh, don't bother me. I never could abide figures. Speak roughly to your little boy and beat him when he sees it. He only does it to annoy because he knows it teases.
Wow, wow, wow!
I speak severely to my boy. I beat him when he sees it. For he can thoroughly enjoy the pepper when he pleases. Here, you may nurse this bit if you like. I must go get ready to play croquet with the queen.
Wow, wow, wow.
Don't grunt. It's not at all the proper way of expressing yourself. If you're going to turn into a pig, my dear, I'll have nothing more to do with you. Instead of grown up with an dreadfully ugly child. But he makes rather a handsome pig, I think. Shut up, good. Will you tell me, please, which way I have to walk from here?
Well, that depends a great deal on where it is you want to get to.
Oh, I don't care where.
Well, then, it doesn't matter which way you walk.
So long as I can stop it.
Oh, you're sure to do that if you only walk for long enough.
What sort of people live out here?
Oh, to the right lives a hatter. To the left, a March hare. There's a guy you like, they're both mad.
I don't want to go among mad people.
Well, you can't help that here. We're all mad. I'm mad, you're mad.
How do you know that I'm mad?
Well, you must be, or you wouldn't have come here.
And how do you know that you're mad?
Oh, well, to begin with, a dog's not mad. You grab that?
I suppose so.
Well, then, a dog growls when it's angry and wags its tail when it's pleased. Now I wag my tail when I'm angry and growl when I'm pleased. Therefore, I'm mad.
I call it purring, not loud.
Call it what you like. You play croquet with the queen today.
I should like to very much, but I haven't been invited yet.
Well, you'll see me there. Oh, by the by. What became of the baby? I've nearly forgotten to ask.
You turned into a pig.
I thought it would. Did you say pig or fig?
I said pig. And I wish you wouldn't keep appearing and vanishing so suddenly. You make one quite giddy.
All right.
Well, I've often seen a cat without a grin, but a grin without a cat. It's the most curious thing I've seen in all my life. I've seen cats before. The March hare would be much more interesting, and perhaps, as this is May, it won't be raining mad, at least not as mad as it was in March. Oh, it must be very uncomfortable for the door now. Only, as to sleep, I suppose it doesn't mind. Plenty of room.
Have some wine.
I don't see any wine,
There isn't any.
and it wasn't very civil of you to offer it.
It wasn't very civil of you to sit down without being invited.
I didn't know in your table.
Your hair wants cutting.
Try not to make personal remarks. It's very rude.
Why is a raven like a writing desk?
Oh, we But now, I'm glad it's been at the middle. I mean, I did that.
Ah, do you mean you think you could find out the answer to it?
Exactly so.
Where then?
You! Please. At least I mean what I say. That's the same thing, you know.
Not the same thing a bit. Why, you might just as well. I see what I eat is the same thing as I eat what I see.
And I might just as well say, I get what I like, it's the same thing as I like what I get.
Exactly.
watch tell you what year it is?
Of course not. The fact is that they've been staying here for such a long time together.
Which is just the case with mine.
I don't quite understand you.
The dormouse is asleep again. Have you guessed the answer to the riddle yet?
No, I give up. What's the answer?
I haven't the slightest idea. If you knew time as well as I did, you wouldn't talk about wasting him.
I don't know what you mean.
Of course not. I dare say you ever even spoke to time.
Perhaps not. But I know it has to be time when I'm
Beat. That accounts for it. He won't stand for beatings. Now, if you only kept on good terms with him, he'd do almost anything you like with the clocks. For instance, suppose it were 9 o'clock in the morning, just time to begin lessons. Why, you'd only have to whisper a hint to time. And around the clock goes in a twinkling, 1:30, time for dinner.
I only wish he'd...
That would be too grand. But then I shouldn't be hungry.
Oh, not at first perhaps, but you could keep it at 1:30 for as long as you'd like.
That's the way you manage.
Not I. We quarreled last March just before he went mad. It was a great concert given by the Queen of Hearts, and I had to sing. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat, how I wonder what you're at. Oh, you know the song, perhaps?
I've heard something like it.
It goes on in this manner. Up above the world you fly, like a tea tray in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little... But I had hardly finished the first verse.
Twinkle, 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 twinkle.
I had hardly finished the first verse.
Twinkle, twinkle, twinkle.
I had hardly finished the first verse when the queen bawled out, "He's murdering the time! Off with his head!"
Dreadfully savage.
And ever since then, he won't do a thing I want with the clocks. It's always 6 o'clock now.
That's the reason so many tea things are set out
Oh,
here.
that's it. It's always tea time, and we've no time to wash things between whiles.
Then you keep moving them around.
Exactly so, as things get used up.
Will you come to the beginning again?
I'm getting tired of this. Let's change the subject. Oh, I hope the young lady tells us a story.
I'm afraid I don't know one.
Oh.
Then the dormouse shall. Wake up, dormouse, wake up.
I wasn't asleep. I heard every word you fellas were saying.
Well, now tell us a story.
Yes, please do.
And be quick about it or you'll be asleep before it's done.
Well, once upon a time, there were 3 little sisters, and their names were Elsie, Lacey, and Tilly, and they lived at the bottom of a well. What did they live on? They lived on treacle. No, they couldn't have done that. You know they'd been ill. Oh, so they were very ill. Why did they live at the bottom of the well then?
Take some more tea.
I've had nothing yet, so I can't take more.
You mean you can't take less? It's very easy to take more than nothing. Who's making personal remarks now?
Why did they live at the bottom of the well? It was a treacle well. Well, if you can't be civil, perhaps you'd like to finish the story yourself. No. Please go on. I won't interrupt again. I dare say there must be one. One indeed.
getting on.
I don't think they play it all fairly. And they all quarrel so dreadfully. One guy who himself speaks. And they don't seem to have any rules in particular. At least if there are, nobody attends to them. And you have no idea how confusing it is. All the things being alive.
How do you like the Queen?
Not at all. She's so extremely likely to win. It's hardly worthwhile finishing the game.
Who are you talking to?
It's a friend of mine, a Cheshire cat. Allow me to introduce it.
But I don't like the looks of it at all. However, it may kiss my hand if it likes.
I'd rather not.
Don't be impertinent. And don't look at me like that.
A cat may look at a king. I've read that in some books, but I can't remember where.
Well, it must be removed. My dear, will you please have this cat removed?
Off with his head!
I'll fetch the executioner myself.
The cat's lost. Yes, you better ask her about it.
She's in prison! Fetch her here! You can't think how glad I am to see you again, you dear old thing. Pepper makes people hot-tempered. Vinegar makes them sour. Chamomile and such things make you bitter. Barley sugar makes children sweet-tempered. I only wish people knew that. Then they wouldn't be so stingy about it, you know. You're thinking about something, my dear, and that makes you forget to talk. I can't think just yet what the moral of that is, but I shall remember it in a bit.
Perhaps it hasn't one.
Tut, tut, child. Everything's got a moral if you can find it.
The game's playing rather better now.
So, and the moral of that is, oh, 'tis love that makes the world go round.
Somebody said it was done by everybody minding their own business.
Oh, well, it means much the same thing. And the moral of that is, take care of the sense, and sounds will take care of themselves.
How fond she is of finding morals and things.
I dare say you're wondering why I don't put my arm around your waist. The reason is I'm rather doubtful of the temper of your flamingo. Shall I try the experiment?
It might bite.
Oh, very true. Flamingos and mustard both fight. And the moral of that is, birds of a feather flock together.
But mustard isn't a bird.
Right as usual. What a clear way you have of putting things, my dear.
It's a mineralized thing.
Of course it is. And the moral of that is, the more there is of mine, the less there is of yours.
Oh, I know. It's a vegetable. It doesn't look like one,
Oh,
but it
yes,
is.
I quite agree. And the moral of that is, be what you would seem to be. Or if you'd like it put more simply, never imagine yourself to be otherwise than what it might appear to others that what you were or might have been was not otherwise than what you might have been would have appeared to them to be otherwise.
I think I should understand that if they had it written down, but I can't quite follow it to say it.
Oh, that's nothing to what I could say if I chose.
Oh, Ray, don't trouble to say it any longer than that.
No, don't talk about trouble. I make you a present of everything I've said as yet. And the moral of that is, what are you? Oh, fine day, Your Majesty.
Now, I give you fair warning. Either you or your head must be off, and that in about half no time. Take your choice. I must be off to look after some executions I'm ordering.
What fun! Why, it's all her fancy. They never execute anyone, you know.
The trial's beginning! The trial's beginning! Oh, the trial's beginning! Come on! The trial's beginning! Oh, quick!
I wish they get the trial and hand around the refreshments. That's the king, and that's the jury box, and I suppose those creatures must be the doors. What can they be doing? They can't have anything to write down before the trial's begun.
They're putting down their names for fear they should forget them before the end of the trial.
Get this thing!
Silence in the court!
Young lady, just look along the road and tell me whom you see.
I see nobody on the road.
I only wish I had such eyes to be able to see nobody. And at that distance, too. Why, it's as much as I can do to see real people by this light.
I beg your pardon.
It isn't respectable, do that? Oh. I feel faint. Give me a ham sandwich. Another. 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 Another.
There's nothing left but hay now.
Hey, then. You know, there's nothing like eating hay when you faint.
I should think throwing cold water over you would be better.
I didn't say there was nothing better. I said there was nothing like it. Who did you pass on the road?
Nobody.
You're quite right. This young lady saw him, too. So, of course, nobody walks slower than you. Now that you've got your breath, you may tell us what they're saying in the town.
I'll whisper it. The trial ought to begin.
Do you call that a whisper? If you do such a thing again, I'll have you buttered. It went through and through my head like an earthquake. So sit down. Harold, read the accusations.
The Queen of Hearts makes some tarts all on a summer's day. The knave of Hearts. He stole those tarts and took them quite away.
Consider your verdict.
Oh, not yet, not yet. There's more to come yet, please.
Call the first witness.
First witness. I beg pardon, Majesty, for bringing this in, but I hadn't quite finished my tea before I was sent for.
You ought to have finished. When did you begin?
14th of March, I think it was.
15.
Write that down. Take off your hat.
It isn't mine.
Stolen!
No, I saved them to sell. I've none of my own. I am a hatter.
Give your evidence. And don't be nervous, or I'll have you executed on the spot.
Bring me the list of singers in the last concert.
Give your evidence, or I'll have you executed whether you're nervous or not.
I am a poor man, Your Majesty, and I hadn't but just begun my tea not above a week or so ago. What with the bread and the butter getting so thin, and the twinkling of the tea.
The twinkling of what?
It began with the tea.
Of course, twinkling begins with the tea. Do you take me for a dunce? If that's all you know, you may stand down.
I can't go no lower, sir. I'm on the floor of the tea.
Then you may sit down.
I'd rather finish my tea.
Oh, you may go.
Just take his head off outside.
Consider your verdict.
Oh, not yet. Please, Your Majesty, there is more evidence. This piece of paper has just been picked up. It's a set of verses.
Are they in the prisoner's handwriting? about it?
He must have imitated someone else's hand.
Oh, please, Your Majesty, I didn't write it. And they can't prove I did. Well, there's no name signed at the end.
Well, if you didn't sign it, that only makes matters worse. You must have met some mistress, or you would have signed your name like an honest man.
Oh, that proves his guilt.
Nothing to start. Why you don't even know what they're about?
Read them.
Where shall I begin, Your Majesty?
Begin at the beginning, then go on till you come to the end, then stop.
Oh, thank you, George. They told me that you did her next meeting. She gave me a good character, but said I could not swim. He sent them word I had not gone. We know it to be true. If she should push the matter on, what would become of you? I gave her 1. They gave him 2. You gave us 3 or more. They all returned from him to you, though they were mine before.
I gave her 1.
They gave him 2.
You gave us 3 or more. They all returned from him to you. Although they were mine before. If I or she should chance to be involved in this affair, he trusts to you to set them free. Exactly as they were. He trusts to you to set them free. Exactly as they were. My notion was that you had been, before she had this fit, an obstacle that came between him, ourselves, and it. An obstacle that came between him, ourselves, and it. Don't let him know she likes the best, for this must ever be a secret kept from all the rest between yourself and me. A secret kept from all the rest between yourselves and me.
This is the most important piece of evidence we've heard yet. So now, let the jury...
If any of us can explain it, I'll give him a 6-pence. I don't believe there's an atom of meaning in it.
She doesn't believe there's an atom of meaning in it.
Well, if there's no meaning in it, then that saves us a world of trouble, as we needn't try to find any. And yet I don't know. Why, I seem to see some meaning in them after all. I said I could not swim. You can't swim, can you?
But do I look like it?
All right, so far. We know it to be true. That's the jury, of course. I gave her 1. You gave us 2. That must be what he did with the tarts, you know.
But it goes on. They all returned from him to you.
And there they are! Nothing can be clearer than that. Then again, before she had this fit, no, you never had fits, my dear, I think.
Never.
Oh, then the words don't fit you. It's a pun! What do you know about this business?
Nothing.
Nothing whatever?
Nothing whatever.
That's very important.
Oh, unimportant. Your Majesty means of course.
Unimportant, I meant of course. Unimportant, unimportant, yes, to be sure. So now, let the jury consider your verdict.
Sentence first, verdict afterwards.
Just let me understand the idea of having the sentence first.
Hold your tongue.
I won't.
Oh, with her head.
Off with their head! 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 Off with their head!
Squirtle sword in hand. Long time that makes the foliage soft. So rested he by the tam-tam tree and stood a while in thought. And as utter thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes aflame, whistling through the tulgey wood and burbled as it came. One, two, and through. The Squirtle's blade went snicker-snack. He left it dead, and with its head, he went galumphing back.
And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. Oh, glad to say, halloo, hooray!
He chortled with joy. What thrilling and flying toads did gyre gimble in the way. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the monads of gray. It seemed very pretty, but rather hard to understand. Somehow it seemed to fill my hips ideas, only I don't know exactly what they are. However, some were still something, that's at any rate.
Oh, my ears and whiskers, how late it is getting. Oh, I should be late. Late.
Oh, what a lovely garden. Oh, Tiger Lily, I wish you would talk.
We can talk if there's anybody worth talking to.
And can all the flowers talk?
As well as you can, and a great deal louder.
It isn't manners for us to begin, you know. Oh, and I really was wondering when you'd speak. Says I to myself, her face has got some sense in it, though it is not a clever one. Still, you are the right color, and that goes a long way.
Oh, I don't care about the color. If only her petals curled up a little more, she'd be all right.
Aren't you sometimes frightened being planted out here with no one to take care of you?
There is the tree in the middle. What else is it good for?
But what could it do if any danger came?
It could bark.
It says bow wow. That's why its branches are called bows. Didn't you know that?
Silence, every one of you. Oh, they know I can't get at them, or they wouldn't dare do it.
Never mind. If you don't hold your tongues, I'll hit you.
That's right. The daisy is worst of all. When she speaks, it's enough to make one wither to hear the way she goes on.
How is it that you can all talk so nicely? I've been in many gardens before, but none of the flowers could talk.
Put your hand down, feel the ground. Then you'll know why.
Well, it seems very hard, but I don't see what that has to do with it.
Oh, in most gardens, they make the beds too soft. So the flowers are always asleep.
I never thought of that before.
It is my opinion that you never think at all.
I never saw anyone who looked stupider.
Oh, hold your tongue, as if you ever saw anybody. You keep your head under the leaves and snore away there till you know no more what's going on in the world than if you were a bud.
Are there any other people in the garden besides me?
Oh, there is one other flower in the garden that can move about like you. I wonder how you do it.
You are always wondering.
But she is more pushy than you are.
Is she like me? There's another little girl in the garden somewhere?
Well, she has the same awkward shape as you. But she is redder, and her petals are shorter, I think.
Oh, they're done up close, like a dahlia's. Not tumbled about like yours.
But that's not your fault. You're beginning to fade, you know. Well, then one can't help one's petals getting a little untidy.
She ever come out here?
Oh, I dare say you'll see her soon. Well, she's one of the sorts that has 9 spikes, you know.
Where does she raise them?
Well, all round her head, of course. I was wondering you hadn't got some too. I thought it was the regular rule.
She's coming! I hear her footsteps. Stop along the gravel walk. She's
Majesty.
I only wanted to see what the garden was like, Your Majesty.
That's right. Now, when you say garden, I've seen gardens compared with which this would be a wilderness.
And I thought I'd find some way to the top of that hill.
Oh, when you say hill, I could show you hills compared with which you'd call that a valley.
No, I shouldn't. A hill can't be a valley, no. That would be nonsense.
You may call it nonsense if you like, but I've had nonsense compared with which that would be as sensible as a dictionary.
But I declare, it's marked up just like a large chessboard. It's a great, huge game of chess that's being played all over the world. But this is the world at all, you know. Oh, what fun it is. How I wish I was part of it. I wouldn't mind being a pawn if only I might join. Though, of course, I should like to be queen best.
That's easily managed. You could be the White Queen's pawn if you like. You're in the second square to begin with, and when you get to the 8th square, you'll be a queen. Vesta! Vesta now!
And when you're off, these move on with us.
You don't try to talk! Vesta! Vesta!
Are we nearly there?
Really there? Why, we passed it 10 minutes ago. Vesta! Vesta now! Oh, you may rest a little now.
Why, I do believe we've been in the same place this whole time. Everything's just as it was.
Of course it is. What would you have it?
Well, in our country, you generally get somewhere else if you ran very fast for the long time as we've been doing.
Oh, a slow sort of country indeed. Now here you see, it takes all the running you can do just to stay in one place. If you want to get anywhere else, you'll have to run twice as fast as that.
I'd rather not try, please. I'm quite content to stay here. Only I am so hot and thirsty.
Why, I know what you'd like. Have a biscuit. While you're refreshing yourself, I'll just take the measurements. Yes, the 2 yards.
I shall give you all directions.
Have another biscuit.
It'll take you one quite enough.
Thirst quenched, I hope.
I shall repeat them for fear of your forgetting them. Now, a pawn goes 2 squares in this first move, you know, so you'll move very quickly to the 3rd square, and you'll find yourself in the 4th square in no time at all. Now, that square belongs to Tweedledum, Tweedledee. The 5th is from Seawater, and the 6th belongs to Humpty Dumpty. But you make no remark.
I didn't know I had to make one just then.
You should have said, it's extremely kind of you to tell me all this. However, we'll just suppose it's been said.
The 7th is all forest.
And in the 8th square, we shall be queens together, and it's all feasting and fun. And speak in French when you can't think of English for a thing. Turn out your toes when you walk. And remember who you are. Goodbye.
She can run very fast.
Waxworks, you ought to pay, you know. Waxworks aren't made to be looked at for nothing, nohow.
Contrary-wise, if you think we're alive, you ought to speak.
I'm sure I'm very sorry. Tweedledum and Tweedledee agreed to have a battle. For Tweedledum said Tweedledee had spoiled his nice new battle. Just then flew down a monstrous crow and left with a tar barrel, which frightened the zero so. They quite forgot their quarrel.
I know what you're thinking, but it isn't so, nohow.
Well, contrary-wise, if it was so, it would be, and if it were so, it might be. But as it isn't, it ain't. That's logic.
I was thinking what would be the best way out of this wood. It's getting dark. Would you tell me, please?
Oh, no.
They look so silly. I just look schoolboys. First boy.
do when the visit is to say, how'd you do, and shake hands. Here we go round the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush. Here we go round the mulberry bush, early in the morning. Oh, 4 times round is enough for one dance.
You never do to say how do you now. You seem to have got beyond that somehow. I hope you're not tired.
I know how, and thank you very much for asking. So much obliged. You like poetry?
Yes, pretty well. I'm told.
What shall we repeat to her? The water's in the carpenter, that's longest.
It was very long. You tell me it was frozen.
The sun was shining on the sea. Shining with all his might. He did his very best to make the billows smooth and bright. And this was I. Because it was the middle of the night. The walrus and the carpenter were walking close at hand. They wept like anything to see such quantities of sand. If this were only cleared away, they said it would be grand.
Oh, oysters, come and walk with us.
The walrus did beseech.
A pleasant walk, a pleasant talk along the briny beach.
We cannot do with more than 4 to give a hand to each.
The eldest oyster looked at him, but never a word he said. The eldest oyster winked his eye and shook his heavy head. Meaning to say he did not choose to leave the oyster bed. But 4 young oysters hurried up, all eager for the treat. Their faces washed, their shoes were scrubbed, their shoes were clean and neat. And this was odd because, you know, they hadn't any feet. Four other oysters followed them, and yet another 4. And thick and fast they came at last, and more and more and more, all hopping through the frothy waves and scrambling to the shore. The walrus and the carpenter walked on a mile or so. And then they rested on a rock. Conveniently low. And all the little oysters stood and waited in a row.
The time has come,
The walrus said,
to talk of many things, of shoes and ships and sealing wax, and cabbages and kings.
And why the sea is boiling hot, and whether pigs have wings.
A loaf of bread,
the walrus said,
is what we chiefly need.
Pepper and vinegar besides are very good indeed.
Now, if you're ready, oysters dear, we can begin to feed.
But not on us, the oysters cried, turning a little blue. After such kindness, that would be a dismal thing to do.
The night is fine.
The walrus said,
Do you admire the view?
It seems a shame
the walrus said,
to play them such a trick after we brought them out so far and made them trot so quick.
The carpenter said nothing but, the butter spread too thick. I
Weep for you, the walrus said. I deeply sympathize.
With sobs and tears, he sorted out those of the largest size, holding his pocket handkerchief before his streaming eyes. Our oysters, said the carpenter, give back a pleasant run. Shall we be trotting them again? But answer came there none. And this was scarcely I, because they'd eaten everyone.
I like the walrus best because, you see, he was a little sorry for the poor oyster.
Oh, but he ate more than the carpenter, though. You see, he held his handkerchief in front so that the carpenter couldn't count how many he took, contrary-wise.
That was mean. I like the carpenter best. He didn't eat quite so many as the walrus.
Oh, he ate as many as he could get, though.
Well, they were both very unpleasant characters.
No, I like the walrus. I like the carpenter. The walrus.
Is there any lions and tigers about here?
Oh, it's only the Red King snoring. Come and look at him. Isn't he a lovely sight? Fit to snore his head off.
I'm afraid he'll catch cold with sitting out in the damp air.
He's dreaming now, and what do you suppose he's dreaming about?
Nobody can guess that.
Why, about you, of course. And where do you suppose you'd be if he left off dreaming about you?
Where I am now, of course.
Not you. You'd be nowhere. See, you're only a sort of sting in his dream. If that there king were to wake up, you'd go out, bang, just like a candle.
Guys, when will you start singing scream? What do you like
him when you're only one of the things in his dream? You know very well you're not real.
Oh, now you won't make yourself a bit realer by crying. There's nothing to cry about.
If I wasn't real, I shouldn't be able to cry.
I hope you don't suppose those are real tears.
I know they're just talking nonsense and it's foolish to cry about it. And anyway, there's better be getting off this wood. It's really coming on quite dark. Do you think it's going to rain?
No, I don't think so. At least not under here, nohow.
But it may rain outside?
It may if it chooses. We've no objection, contrary-wise.
Do you see that?
It's only a rattle. Not a rattlesnake, you know. Just an old rattle, quite old and broken.
Oh, I knew it. Spoiled, of course.
You needn't be so angry about an old rattle.
But it isn't old, it's new, I tell you. I just bought it yesterday. My nice new rattle. Of course, you agreed to have a battle.
I suppose so. Only she must help us dress up, you know.
I hope you're a good hand at pinning and tying strings. All these things have to go on somehow. Very tough. Got a cake.
Really? You look more like buttons of old clothes than anything else by the time you're ready.
There, to keep my head from being cut off. You know, it's one of the most serious things that can possibly happen to one in a battle. You get one's head cut off.
Do I look very pale?
Well, yeah, a little.
I'm generally very brave, you know. Just today I have a headache.
I've got a toothache. I'm far worse than you.
Oh, this morning
I'm coming down with a cold. And my elbow
Fight today.
Oh, we must have a bit of a battle, but I don't care to go on long. What's the time now?
4:30.
Well, let's fight until 6 o'clock and then we'll have dinner.
Very well. And you can watch it. Only you better not get too close, because I generally hit everything I can see when I get really excited.
And I hit everything within my reach, whether I can see it or not.
You must hit the trees pretty often, I should think.
I don't suppose there'll be a tree left standing forever so far around by the time we're finished.
And all about a rattle.
I wouldn't have minded so much if it had been a new one.
I wish the mine were a rolling tongue.
There's only one sword, you know, but you can use the umbrella. It's quite as sharp. Only we've got to get on fast. It's getting as dark as it can.
Darker.
What a fish that snow getting in, and how fast it comes. Why, I do believe it's got wings.
It's the crow!
but never jam today.
It must come sometimes jam today.
Oh, no, it can't. It's every other day. Today isn't any other day, you know.
I don't understand you. It's dreadfully confusing.
That's the effect of living backwards. It always makes one a little giddy at first.
Living backwards? I never heard of such a thing.
Oh, but there's one great advantage to it. That one's memory works both ways.
I'm sure mine only works one way. I can't remember things before they happen.
Oh, it's a poor sort of memory that only works backwards.
What sort of things do you remember best?
Oh, hold on. For instance, the things that happened the week after next. The king's messenger, he's in prison being punished. And the trial doesn't begin until next Wednesday. And of course, the crime comes last of all.
Suppose he never commits the crime.
That would be all the better, wouldn't it?
Oh. Well, of course it would be all the better. But it wouldn't be the better his being punished.
Oh, you're wrong there at any rate. Were you ever punished?
Only for faults.
And you were all the better for it. That I know.
Yes, but then I had done the things I was punished for. That makes all the difference.
But if you hadn't done them, that would have been better still. Oh, better and better and better and better and better.
Mistake somewhere.
My finger's bleeding.
What's the matter? You pricked your finger?
Well, I haven't pricked it yet, but I soon shall.
When do you expect to do it?
When next I fasten my shawl, my brooch shall come undone directly. Oh, there goes. There, you see? Now you understand how things happen here.
Why don't you scream now?
What would be the use? I've done all the screaming already.
I'm glad it's getting lighter. I thought it was the night coming on.
I wish I could manage to be glad. Only I never can remember the rules. Oh, you must be very happy living in this wood and being glad whenever you like.
Only it's so very lonely here.
Oh, don't go on like that. Consider what a great girl you are. Consider what a long way you've come today. Consider what o'clock it is. Oh, consider anything. Only don't cry.
Can you keep from crying by considering things?
That's the way it's done. Nobody can do two things at once, you know. Now, to begin with, let's consider your age. How old are you?
I am 7 1/2 exactly.
Oh, you needn't say exactly.
Than a baby.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty in his place again. That last line is much too long for the poetry.
Don't just stand there chattering to yourself. Well, state your name and your business.
My name is Alice.
That's a stupid name enough. What does it mean?
Must the name mean something?
Well, of course it must. Mine means the shape I am, and a good, handsome shape it is, too. Why, with a name like yours, you might be any shape, almost.
Why do you sit out here all alone?
Why? Because there's nobody with me. Did you think I didn't know the answer to that? Ask another.
Don't you think you'll be safer down on the ground? That wall is so very narrow.
What tremendously easy riddles you ask. Well, of course I don't think so. If I did fall off, which there is no chance of. But if I did fall, the king has promised me. You may turn pale if you like. Oh, you didn't think I was going to say that, did you? The king has promised me, with his very own mouth,
To send all his horses and all his men.
Oh, now I declare that's too bad. You've been listening indoors and behind trees and down chimneys, or you couldn't have known it.
I haven't been peated in a book. What a beautiful belt you've got on. At least, a beautiful cravat. No belt. I beg your pardon. I do wish I hadn't chosen that subject for me with his neck or with his waist.
It is very provoking when a person doesn't know a belt from a cravat.
I know it's very ignorant of me.
It's a cravat, child. And a very beautiful one, as you have said. It was given to me as a present from the White King and Queen. There now.
Oh, was it really?
Oh, yes, they gave it to me. Oh, they gave it to me for an unbirthday present.
I beg your pardon.
I'm not offended.
No. I mean what is an unbirthday present.
Well, a present given when it isn't your birthday, of course.
I like birthday presents best.
You don't know what you're talking about. How many days are there in a year?
365.
And how many birthdays have you?
1.
Well, if you take 1 from 365, what remains?
364, of course.
I think I'd rather see that done on paper. No, that seems to be done correctly.
You're holding it upside down.
Oh, to be sure I was, yes, to be sure. I thought it looked a little queer at first, but that seems to be done correctly, though I haven't time to look it over thoroughly just now. But what that shows you is that there are 364 days which you might receive unbirthday presents, and only 1 for birthday presents. There's glory for you.
I don't know what you mean by glory.
Well, of course you don't until I tell you. I mean, there's a nice knockdown argument for you.
But glory doesn't mean a nice knockdown argument.
When I use a word, it means precisely what I choose it to mean. Neither more nor less.
The question is whether you can make words mean so many different things.
The question is which is to be master, that's all. Impenetrability. That's what I say.
You seem very clever at explaining words, sir. Would you kindly tell me the meaning of the poem called Jabberwocky?
Oh, well now, as to poetry, I can repeat poetry as well as other folks if it comes to that.
Oh, it needn't come to that.
But now the piece I'm going to repeat was written entirely for your amusement.
Thank you.
I sent a message to the fish. I told them, this is what I wish. The little fish's answer was, we gotta do it, sir, because...
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Well, it gets a little easier further on. Then someone came to me and said, well, the little fishes are in bed. I took a corkscrew from the shelf. I went to wake them up myself. When I found the door was locked, I pushed it and pulled it and kicked and knocked. But when I found the door was shut, I tried to turn the handle.
Is that all?
That's all. Goodbye.
All the unsatisfactory people I've ever met. And now, with the 8 square, and to become a queen. Why? What is this on my head? How could it have gone? You got my knowing it. Well, this is grand. I never expected I should be a queen so soon. And if I really am a queen, I shall be able to manage quite well in time. Would you tell me, please?
When you're spoken to.
But everybody obeyed that rule, and if you only spoke when you were spoken to, and the other person's always waited for you to begin, well, then no one would ever speak at all.
Don't be ridiculous, child. Don't you think? What do you mean by if I really am a queen? What right have you to call yourself so? But you can't be a queen until you pass the proper examinations.
And the sooner we begin it, the better.
I know he said if.
She said she only said if.
But she said a great deal more than that. Oh, ever so much more than that.
So you did, you know. Always speak the truth, think before you speak, and write it down afterwards.
Sure, I didn't mean.
Oh, that's just what we complain of. You should have meant. What do you suppose is the use of a child without any meaning? Why, even a joke should have some meaning, and a child's more important than a joke, I hope. You couldn't deny that even if you tried with both hands.
I don't deny things with my head.
Whoever said you did, he said you couldn't, even if you tried.
She's in that state of mind when she wants to deny something. Only she doesn't know what to deny.
What a nasty, vicious temper. I invite you to Alice's dinner party this afternoon.
And I invite you.
I didn't know I was to have a party at all. But if I am to have one, I think I ought to be the one to invite the guests.
We gave you the opportunity of doing so, but I dare say you've not had many lessons in manners yet.
Manners are not taught in lessons. Lessons teach you to do songs and things of that sort.
Can you do addition? Once, one, and 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 one.
I don't know, I lost count.
She can't do addition. Can you do subtraction? Take a bone from a dog. What remains?
Well, the bone would remain if I took it. And then the dog would remain. It would come to bite me. And then I'm sure I would remain.
So you think nothing would remain?
I think that's the answer.
Wrong, as usual. The dog's temper would remain.
I don't see how.
Now look here. The dog would lose its temper, wouldn't
once you've said a thing, that fixes it. You must take the consequences.
Which reminds me, we had such a thunderstorm last Tuesday. I mean, one of the last set of Tuesdays, you know.
In our country, we have only one day at a time.
What a poor, thin way of doing things. Now, here, you see, we have days and nights, mostly 2 or 3 at a time. And sometimes, in the winter, we take as many as 5 nights together for warmth.
Are 5 nights warmer than 1 night, then?
5 times as warm. Humpty Dumpty saw it, too. He came to the door with a corkscrew in his hand. He said he would come in because he was looking for a hippopotamus. Now, as it happens, there wasn't such a thing in the house that morning.
Is there generally?
Only on Thursday.
I know what he wants. He wanted to punish the fish.
And part of the roof came off. And ever so much thunder got in. And it went rolling around the room in great lumps. Oh, knocking over tables and things. Oh, till I was so frightened. I couldn't remember my own name. No.
I should never try to remember my name in the middle of an accident. What would be the use of it?
Your Majesty really must forgive her. She can't help saying foolish things as a general rule. She was never really well brought up, you know. Yet, it's amazing how good-tempered she is. Pat her head. See how much she'll like it. Oh. A little kindness and putting her hair in papers would do wonders for her. I am so sleepy. She's tired, poor thing. Smooth her hair. Lend her your nightcap.
Oh, and sing her a soothing lullaby.
I haven't got a nightcap, and I don't know any soothing lullabies.
I must do it myself then. Now hush, my lady, in Alice's lap. Till the feast ready, we've time for a nap. When the feast's over, we'll go to ball. Red Queen and White Queen and Alice and all. Now you know the words. Just sing it through to me. Oh.
What am I to do? Do wake up, you heavy things. I don't think it ever happened that anyone had to take care of 2 queens and a king asleep at once. No, not in all history of England. They couldn't, you know, because there never was more than 1 queen at a time.
Oh, my ears and whiskers, we shall be late.
Late for what?
Come on, back.
What late?
For your back.
Quickly now, quickly.
Sprinkle the
Adam. Oh, such a nice